I'm Yasmin Hilal, the founder and executive director of Educate Me Foundation. We started off 7 years ago with the vision of creating an educational model that is focused on delivering quality education to the base of the pyramid. And what we try to do is to integrate national requirements of Egyptian education with global best practices on 21st century skills. We do that through two different mechanisms. The first one is through a school that we manage end-to-end. It's located in Talbiya in Giza, a low-income neighborhood. And we currently run from K to 3 with a total of 230 students. And in parallel, and the way to scale and the way to grow and also try to influence national education policy is by extracting the practices that we've developed and learned through our model and injecting them into the public education system through doing school-based reform. And we currently operate in almost 150 public schools across 7 governorates in Egypt. So Educate Me has been working with RISE since 2013. We've attended different retreats, both in Egypt and outside. We went to different parts of the United States and also to Colombia. We went from attending lectures in very prominent universities to attending workshops with very high-profile practitioners.
Hi, I'm Christine Safwat, Operations Director of Educate Me Foundation. So back in 2015, Yasmin and I visited I2 Foundation in Colombia in a study trip with RISE Egypt. And we got the chance to go around the organization and meet the staff, the team, and see their activities. So I2 Foundation is basically working on early childhood education in Colombia. Back then they had established 32 centers across the country.
We got to talk to them a lot on how they did it, what kind of choices they had to make. And one of the very important lessons we learned is the importance of doing an impact study.
For us, it was an extremely inspiring and useful study trip. Not only because we've seen how they developed their model, but also because we've seen how they managed to actually scale their model and get a government buy-in. We got also to see how they managed to contextualize their model in underprivileged areas in Colombia. So it really did influence our way forward.
We learned the concept, we went back, we were fascinated by it, and then we had the question of how can we bring this back in Egypt? Who would be interested to both fund and to execute on an impact study? And RISE was a perfect partner for that. They brought in the resources and they also brought in the expertise, worked with us on refining our theory of change, and then we kicked off the first year of our longitudinal study last year, which is effectively the first longitudinal study that is supposed to be taking place in the entire region. And among the very important concepts that we learned from RISE is how to be focused on evidence, research, and also being evidence-based, and how do we use evidence to inform the impact that we're doing and also inform the process that we use to achieve this impact. So what we're hoping is to complete this study and not just to inform the operations within one school, but to help us use these results and use this model, which is both very cost-effective and also very scalable, to use this model to inform policy in Egypt, especially that we're in a moment where there is a movement and there is actual reform that is going on. So how can we use this opportunity? How can we use these results? How can we use a model that we have created in a low-income neighborhood with local resources to scale nationwide and achieve nationwide impact across Egypt?